again. Today I'm going to do another book review, and this time instead of reviewing a book, I'm going to review a short little mini-series. Today I'm going to discuss Dean Koontz's Frankenstein. Okay? I've only read the first couple of these, but these are really good. What these are it's a new modernized take of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Okay? So really, the best way to start these books is by reading Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, because there are quite a few references. What this is really about is, it's in modern times. Frankenstein, or Dr. Frankenstein I should say, and the monster he created are both still around. Okay. The monster now calls himself Deucalion, and he's really a good guy, okay? Victor Frankenstein himself is also still around. He's kept himself alive for a very long time by artificial means. And I'll get into that later. Now he calls himself Victor Helios. Yeah, it's his new name because, you know, he's like a couple hundred years old or so. And what's going on is they're in, I believe, New Orleans? Yeah, they're in Louisiana. And what's going on here is that Victor Helios, formerly Frankenstein, is engineering a race of people. Okay, he wants to take over the earth with these people he has created. They're superhuman, they have multiple hearts, they're indestructible practically. He's kind of like Hitler in that he wants to create a superior race. And so he's unleashing them in society very subtly. You know, he's planting them in places. He'll kill original people and then replace them with one of his copies. And he has them in all levels of government, society, everywhere, you know. Now, Deucalion, the monster, he finds out about this, okay? At the start of the book, he's living in a Tibetan monastery, and he reads about in the paper what's going on. They go into a little bit more of his character than in the original story. Original story, he's just this wandering beast. In this one, he's had a long time to sit and think, and he's really matured, you could say. He also has the power to teleport, because it's said that because he was created by lightning, he understands quite a bit of the quantum nature of the universe. So he can teleport, he can move really fast. He's pretty neat. When he gets there, he teams up with this detective who's investigating a string of murders or whatever. And they're just trying to catch Helios. She doesn't really believe him until the second book, really. Towards the end of the first, she's working with him, but by the second, she completely agrees with him, and her partner are trying to basically take down Helios before he takes over. She herself, her name's Carson O'Connor, by the way. She's a detective. She has custody of her little brother, who's autistic, and it's really interesting because they really go into detail on his character. You know, he's obsessed with blocks. He's always building castles and everything, and he's very mentally disabled. Helios himself is so fascinated by autism, he genetically creates a person who intentionally has autism very badly. And this autistic creation, his thing is crossword puzzles. You know, he's like an idiot savant with crossword puzzles. He can master them in seconds. Okay? And the thing about him is that he finds out about Detective Carson's brother, and he thinks that the secret to his happiness lies with this boy. He has to figure out what it is about this boy. And so he's trying to find out what's going on. So throughout the story, they're fighting Helios's creations and whatnot. And by the second book, the creations are getting out of control. I mean, Helios himself is, whether he accepts it or not, is losing control. Okay, and the control is a big thing. He controls everything. Even his wife, he genetically created a wife for himself. And she gets out of line. He kills her. So he creates a second, and he just like keeps genetically modifying it more and more and more to make her more submissive to him. Alright? He's a control freak. But he doesn't realize that he's losing control of his creations, and they're starting to, by the end of the second book, kind of get out of control. You know, they're becoming more chaotic. One thing I really liked about this was when they talk about Victor's lair, his lab, it really brings to mind all these images of the classic mad scientist lab that you would think of in old Universal movies. You know, because really, it's just like that. He's got like a brain in a glass container that can think and talk. He's got test tubes and bubbling liquids and everything. Like, oh, it's freaky. It's cool. So I really recommend reading these books. The first one is Prodigal Son. Okay, that's the first book in the series, and essentially Prodigal Son is the Frankenstein monster, the original. Okay. And then the second one is City of Night. Okay. There is a, what is the third one? Oh yeah, that doesn't say. I haven't read it yet. I'm in Iraq right now, so I don't really have a lot of access to hardcover books per se, or even softcover. So I have to wait till I get home to read that one, unless I can scrounge it up. So, but yeah, like I said, these are really good. I suggest reading them. If I had to grade the series, you know, I would give this an A+. Like, this is really good. I mean, it really draws upon the original story and makes it its own thing. Okay, I definitely give it 5 out of 5 stars, so check it out. I think it's one of Dean Koontz's better works. I'm a big fan of his. So when you get a chance, hey, why not read these?